against the team of Kyle Kite, Mike Ward, and Chuck Myers. Of these three players, the one that you'd probably be familiar with is Mike Ward, as he does have some Open Series success. He's a local player from the area.
Okay. So it looks like we're going to start on Jensen, the BC, correct?
That is correct. We are going to start with Jensen, his red-green deck that we spoke about. 18 lands in here, 9 forests, 9 mountains, 3 copies of Shiv's Embrace to go along with 2 copies of Regan Firecat. He's also got like an Advocate of the Beast, he's got a Deadly Recluse, got 2 Giant Growths, he's got the 3 Giant Spiders in the sideboard, like you mentioned a little bit earlier. It's just a pretty run-of-the-mill, nothing crazy going on red-green deck.
So it looks like Mike Ward had an Elvish Mystic, but it got shot down by Huey. No turn 2 play to follow it up. Huey has a Regathan Firecat, card I really like. We haven't talked about red. We'll go into that color a little bit.
We will, and what we see here from Ward is that he has no turn 3 play, so he's going to take 4 right in the face.
That just feels bad.
Yeah, and if Huey's able to clear the path for another one, I mean that could be another 4 potentially. This card dealing 12 damage all by itself.
So Mike Ward hits a mountain for a second color, but it looks like he has a lot of lands.
Yeah, I mean he just scrolled by 3 forests.
I thought I saw 4. This is not looking good. If this Firecat hits again, it's going to be hard pressed to win. Huey also has a lot of lands, it looks like, but
no play this turn either.
He's got a 4 Firecat. So there's a Flames of the Firebrand coming down. It'll probably take out the Firecat. Mike Ward at 12, Huey at 18.
So he's going to go 1 here, 2 there. Okay.
Right. You know, there's no trick in the format that punishes him for that. Ranger's Gal would stop it anyways.
Giant Growth make it too much.
Big. Yep. Yeah. So Huey plays his 6th land.
Looks like he's just passing the turn back again. So
and Ward probably stacked on removal.
Ward can actually try to get himself back into the game if he has something of relevance here.
Like a Vastwood Hydra for 4.
Yeah, that's a relevant thing.
Interestingly, I might have held that.
Try to get it to 5?
Get it to 5, because the key point in this format is 4 for that Shatter's Outrage that's in Huey's hand. So getting it to 5, he's going to lose the Vastwood Hydra.
Speak of the devil, and it shall appear.
Yeah, you know, this format's pretty new, and that's like the kind of thing that you'll just pick up over time. It's like, this is the critical point. And, Huey demonstrates why that is.
It's tough, too, because he doesn't even get to distribute anything with it either. So
that's the 5/3 Marauding Maulhorn.
That is correct. That is your 5/3 that must attack every single turn, looking to kind of just take over this game all by itself. A card I really like just because it's just kind of a big doofus, and it does work with Advocate of the Beast.
Uh-oh. This guy's coming in. Yeah. Must attack every turn. I want to attack every turn.
Yeah.
I think Mike's going down to 5 here because of the 2 damage from the Outrage.
Yep.
Do another land.
And he's just going to concede the game. Wow. So
4, 4, 5, 5, 2.
Yes, a very, very uneventful game there as you see us cut over here to a little look here at Mr. Duke and Mr. Chuck Myers. But yeah, Huey Jensen's going to win game number 1 there over Mike Ward in pretty easy fashion. I mean, Ward just kept a land heavy hand and just drew more of them.
Yeah.
So as we figure out what match we're going to cut to here for you guys in just a moment, we'll take a look at Chuck Myers' deck list. Again, Reed's deck is this pretty fun, sweet blue-black control deck where he's got Ring of 3 Wishes, he's got, you know, some card drawing, he's got some removal spells, got some Archaeomancers, got some Claustrophobias, and then has this awesome end game in which he can, you know, assuming that he can just draw out the game long enough, he has 1 copy of Rise of the Dark Realms to be able to get everything back on his side.
It looks like he's playing a blue-black mirror, actually. This will be interesting to see who's advantaged. We have a lot of cancels from Chuck. We have multiple cancels from Chuck Myers in the gate and sideboard.
Okay.
So that's pretty important in this mirror. He looks like he's got multiple Mind Rots in the main too. He might be well set up for this.
Yeah, this might actually be difficult for Duke, honestly.
It looks like we've got Owen under the camera right now. Black-red deck facing down blue-white.
Again, Turtenwald's deck is basically the Active Treason precon. If you could build a precon for Active Treason, I think this would be it, as he has a ton of sacrifice outlets. He has 3 copies of Active Treason, and he's just got some solid black and red creatures, but he's able to turn Active Treason into either a removal spell or, you know, just have some interaction that's really, really positive. So that's Turtenwald's deck. Kyle Kite's deck, you see, is a blue-white deck. It's got a Suntail Hawk out there, Messenger Drake, excuse me, a couple of other things as well. So we'll see what Kite's deck list is going to look like.
This Accursed Spirit's really showing off how good that card is, I think. The intimidating this format, especially when all the black creatures are so small, it's got to trade for anything that blocks it, and often just not going to get blocked. Looks like the Quag Sickness is on a Sarah Angel, making it effectively a Suntail Hawk for now until it eventually dies to the next swamp. Bogbrew Witch hitting the table for Owen. I believe that's a Tenacious Dead is the middle creature. 1/1. Not really going to block that Caption Knight right now, but Owen's deck has a lot of sacrifice outlets to sort of set up some loops with the Tenacious Dead. It's not quite reassembling skeletons, but it's close.
Yeah, I mean it's like a makeshift reassembling skeleton. It's not really, you know, the same, but you know there are gains and benefits, like there are advantages and disadvantages, excuse me, to each one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's kind of the difference with the cards.
1-drop, Sensory Depth.
Yeah,
killing
spell.
every common creature. Another Suntail Hawk. And let's see, I think there's another Sarah Angel in Kyle's hand. And a shove for 4. 5, Capture Knight, and the Sarah Angel 6. Bogbrew Witch, not likely to block this first striker here.
No, I mean, I think like I kind of like Kite's deck because he's kind of on the same school of thought as you, as that Suntail Hawk in this format is actually like a real card.
Yeah.
As into opposing formats where it's super mediocre. It's like a card that you almost have to play if you're in white.
Interesting. Owen's opting to double block here. Is that a Tenacious Dead or a Festering Newt there?
Might be a Newt, actually, with the Witch.
Oh, and then we get to kill the Messenger Drake when it dies.
You see Ward consulting with Kite about what to do on this particular turn.
Let's see. We can pump up this Caption Knight. Instead, we're just opting to
yeah, just takes down the creature.
Just takes down the creature. Was a Tenacious Dead.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. I feel like I would have tried to extract value out of the Knight and just pump twice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Instead of playing the Sarah Angel this turn?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we're in a pretty aggressive position. Just like clearing the Bogbrew Witch sounds really important to me.
Okay.
Let's see.
The one thing here is that Turtenwald has just been stuck on lands like this entire game, right? Like, you know, he does have a Bogbrew Witch, use Cast Quag Sickness. The 3/2 has been hit by Sensory Deprivation, but he only has 4 lands in play where Kite has 7. So, you know, he's kind of bottlenecked on mana and what he can do for his turns, kind of hoping that he just ends up drawing lands, but he's staring down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage in the air.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem for him right now.
Yeah, that is a big and fast clock.
So here's Altar's Reap.
Cashing in the effectively dead Accursed Spirit. It's an act of treason. You can get the Cauldron, kill the Angel, start working some of that action over there. Keep him in the game for a while.
And the more that I am watching, you know, one of the things that's going to happen, not just for you and I in the booth, for a lot of people at home, is you're going to realize some cards' stock is going to go up when we're watching these people play with them.
Yes.
You know, a card like Sensory Deprivation, I definitely agree with your assessment on that, of how good that card is in this format.
Yes.
Alternatively, a card like Altar's Reap seems awesome in this format.
Yeah, Altar's Reap is really overperforming compared to Innistrad.
Yeah, it just seems absolutely fantastic as you see Kite is going to attack here with that Sarah Angel, among other things. He drew a pacifism for the turn, he's going to pass it back.
Yeah, one of the things I like about Altar's Reap is that this format there's a lot of creatures that you kind of want to play, but they get outclassed pretty fast. And Altar's Reap is just, it's kind of like cycling. It lets you cycle something late in the game. When it's in play and not doing much, don't want it. I just want to cycle my Altar's Reap and cycle that card. Yeah. And all you're doing is digging for your best cards. Altar's Reap does a good job.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of positives here. Not only the fact that, you know, there are interactions with creatures that you can sacrifice.
It's just good for the format.
Yeah, it's just good for the format, good against defensive auras, good for when your guy gets outclassed that has an aura on it. You know, just move on.
Exactly. So
2 mana.
2?
Child of Night. You saw that Turtenwald searched out the bubbling cauldron there with the Witch, a way for him to be able to gain some life.
Looks like he's gonna pass and set up to get the Newt on upkeep and kill the Sarah Angel.
Gain 4 life too, which is super, super important.
And the reason he's doing that on upkeep is because the trick he's playing around is Show of Valor or Fortify. If If he does it on upkeep, the Sarah Angel is still shrunk in power.
Okay.
So, if he does it on his turn, the 4/5 makes it a 4/6, 0/2, back up to a 4/4, dies.
Gotcha.
This way, Angels is dead. And then next turn's the fun part, because he gets to active treason the Drake, sacrifice it, and draw a card. That just always feels great.
He's trying to come back.
He's not trying. I think he's succeeding.
Yeah, I think he might be succeeding too. The fact that the Cauldron gains 4 life is incredible.
And drains 4 there.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that card is way, way better than I thought it was.
Each opponent loses 4 life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Yeah. If you're able to actually assemble the combo, which oddly enough, every time that we've watched Turtenwald play so far, he's been able to put it together. I mean, of course, the Witch makes it easy.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen him without the Witch in play, to be fair.
Sure.
We've just seen him tap 2, search his deck, just keep doing stuff. So Owen's going to drop to 3 from this attack with the Flyers. Though, interestingly, that's an Ajani's Chosen.
Now a pacifism on the Shadow Knight.
Make a guy.
Kite's deck looks pretty strong right now.
So I'd mentioned playing around 4 to 5. That wasn't the card he was playing around, because that would just kill him. The card he was playing around was Show of Valor.
Yeah.
There we go.
So let's see what Turtenwald can do now, because I agree with you that like the active treason play would seem pretty reasonable. Is it still good now?
He's got multiple acts. Okay. So, we have real cat tokens today.
That's lucky.
Yeah, it's nice.
Meow.
Meow.
Two-headed giant players, your seedings for deck construction are making their way to the
This is still like a very dangerous.
at the back of the room.
Like Owen's at effectively 7 after sacrificing this guy. He's still very, very live in this game. It's really ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he can definitely come back.
This Cauldron does so much work.
So gonna Cauldron, sacrifice that.
Draw my card.
Draw my card. Thank you very much. I've got Brogru. I've got the Witch back on defense.
Kyle's at.
There's a swamp to take care of that. Yeah.
Kyle's also at 3 less life from that deck. Like he's also pretty low on life.
And another blocker now too for Turtenwald as well. So Turtenwald is trying his best to come back here.
Kyle doesn't draw a spell, so.
And does he have any great attacks? I mean, like he's going to attack with the 2 Suntail Hawks. Yeah.
I think attacking with the 3/3 is fine. I think attacking with the 2/3 is fine. I think just shoving with everything is great. Though, assuming Kyle, if I've kept up correctly, is at 7. He has to worry about dying on the swing back, maybe? I don't know. Because Owen's got Drain for 3 on board. Okay, that's 1 short.
Yeah, 7 to 6. Our
6.
life totals are correct for you guys now at home. As we do have a quick update for you.
Yeah.
Huey just not wasting any time whatsoever, as he's already won his match 2 games to 0 again. And so now, the future Hall of Famer gets to coach what are potentially 2 future Hall of Famers, maybe, in Turtenwald and Duke. Jeez.
They are well above the expected line to make Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I'm not going to make any guesses as to which one's more likely, but potential future Hall of Famers, very accurate.
How about this? He's coaching currently in Turtenwald the player who has the worst hair between the 2. Can you agree there?
Wait, Owen has the worst hair on the team, or the worst hair?
Between him and Reed.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. I'm glad we could be common ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
The player without a token.
Ooh. That was dirty.
That was a bit low.
You don't have a token yet either.
Oh, no.
I've talked to some people.
I know
some people.
Yeah.
We can get you one.
I was hoping just to win the invitational last weekend.
Well, fine. Take Friday off of work. Here comes the attackers and the Ajani and the 2 Suntail Hawks.
Owen not risking that Gnaw zombie.
Yeah, no way. Yeah. Which I like a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like risking that at all. Turtenwald is doing whatever he can right now to stabilize.
Yeah.
That's all that he's doing. As you see Gnawing Zombie on the screen, sacrifice a creature, target player loses a life, you gain a life. It's... I never thought I would say I miss Blood Artist, but I kind of do.
Oh, he could have double blocked the 3/3, lost both of them to a trick, or just lost the zombie. That's not happening. He just wants sacrifice game life. That's all we're doing. That's our way to victory.
He just wants to stay alive. That's it. And whatever means he has to go through, is he going to talk to Jensen about his turn here? He's going to use. And see, one thing I kind of want to demonstrate here too And you know, this might be a little bit unfair, but in our last match, and this was brought up by someone on Twitter, is that once the two teammates for the last match were done, they were really in their teammates' ear about what plays to make, and you saw him kind of second-guess himself and then equip Fire Streaker to the wrong creature, and they end up getting a draw because of it. Whereas, you know, and you know, hands were kind of flying, and both players were, you know, he was uncomfortable, while Orin Beasley was just kind of sitting there, just saying, okay, like, are you going to kill me? You're not going to kill me. It's much more calm here between Turtenwald and Jensen about what they want to accomplish. You know, there's no real arguing or anything. You know, they're just kind of talking things out in a manner that doesn't really like disrupt the flow of the game. Yeah, and it doesn't escalate to really good way.
They respect each other enough that if they're not asking for help, they usually don't give it.
Yeah, because there's certainly a way for you to get help or ask help from your teammates.
Right.
That can be positive or negative.
Exactly.
And I think in the last match we saw it happen in a negative way, where if it was 3 against 1, it was turn 4. There were no turns to be played after that. So all three of them can come together and figure out what the correct play is, execute the play, and if it works, they win. But instead, it felt like there was, you know, some agitation, some second guessing, what have you, and that ends up being a draw for them where they should have ended up winning the match. You see Turtenwald and Jensen here talk things through very briefly, execute their play, move on.
Yep. Act of Treason takes the Chosen. Chosen gets chump blocked by the cat token that it made, and gets sacked to the Cauldron.
Yep.
Owen up to 8 life, facing down 2 Suntail Hawks. He's got Gnawing Zombie, a recently added Blood Baron in play, and this Pacifism Chaldonite just kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need... Kyle Kite just drew Claustrophobia. I think it's about time to Claustrophobia that Blood Baron, because I think... I haven't done the math, but that's pretty close to lethal.
Yeah, I mean, assuming that, you know, Turtenwald has some creatures in his hands that he can... Creature in his hand that he can play. Yeah, that he can play.
Yep.
Yeah, there's your Claustrophobia on the Blood Baron. Turtenwald says that's fine. It's going to tap the guy. I think the Suntail Hawks are going to come into the red zone here, but the Suntail Hawks aren't going to be able to chase down the Bubbling Cauldron.
Absolutely
That's the problem.
Not. Or the Gnawing Zombie. Either or. Either or.
And of course, I mean, the Suntail Hawks, you see Kite right now, he's kind of looking at him saying, like, am I going to attack with these, but are you going to block with them? Yeah. Because I don't think that's a realistic option. I think you just keep attacking, because if you're not attacking, and it's very unlikely that you'll be blocking, the Cauldron is just doing all of the work then, gaining Turtenwald so much life.
His block is just absolutely not profitable, too, because it's a 1-3.
Yeah. You see that they do come across, so Turtenwald's going to go down to 6 here, but Kite is out of spells.
Out of cards.
And out of cards. So yeah, so he has nothing that he can do, and now he's at the mercy of Turtenwald. So Turtenwald, after finally drawing some lands, or it looks like 3 straight, maybe 4, has really turned this game around.
He really hasn't had that much attacking going on this game, but he's done a lot of damage.
Yeah, I agree.
The Act of Treason shoves, the Newt, everything. It's just kind of added up out of nowhere.
And so now, yeah, I agree with you, where we walked into a game here between Kite and Turtenwald where Kite was super far ahead. We walked into a point where he had Sarah Angel, Messenger Drake, 2 Suntail Hawks. That's 9 points of flying in the air versus Turtenwald with no air defense.
And now this game is Sarah Angel.
Yep. And now this game is turned around like crazy. Where you see Kite is now kind of, you know, disinterested, kind of knows the writing's on the wall. The game is turned in Turtenwald's favor. He draws another Suntail Hawk, and now his Hawks are on defense. So now Gnawing Zombie is going to sacrifice here. He's going to do a little drain, a little gain, gives the pacifism back to Kite.
Yeah, these 3 Suntail Hawks getting held down by this Nightwing Shade yet again.
Yep.
The All-Star.
Nightwing Shade was not this good in this previous format,
Oh,
right?
absolutely not.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm remembering correctly. I'm kind of old. I'm losing my memory. You're a young man.
Yeah.
You know, I think you played in that format. I remember the Shade, not so good in its format.
We both played in that Pro Tour.
Yeah, Nightwing Shade was so mediocre. 5 mana 2 to Zendikar, right? No?
M11, Amsterdam.
M11? Okay, yeah, thank you. Super mediocre.
Undead Minotaur joins the team. 2-3 beatdowns. I do like the subtle throwback, the Undead Minotaur off of the Heirloom Minotaur.
Yeah, I like the flavor.
I like it.
Minotaur Abomination. It's two Undead Minotaurs stitched together in the picture.
There's a lot of really cool things going on with those cards. Claustrophobia Blood Baron gets thrown at the face with a Gnawing Zombie.
A little more drain, a little more gain. I think we might be seeing a lethal attack this turn.
Yep.
He's at 3. Actually, he can
It is Xaxes.
Yeah, he can get in with he can get in with everybody, and then gnawing zombie activations. Because now the Suntail Hawks are going to have to chump block, as they do. Gnawing zombie gets in, puts Kite down to 2. There's an activation, puts you down to 1. And Turtenwald, I believe, is going to make one more sacrifice here, put you down to none. So Owen Turtenwald is going to win game number 1 here versus Kyle Kite. He's going to be up 1. You see Reed Duke also up a game here over Chuck Myers, and William Huey Jensen has already won his match. So sitting pretty good now is the team and defending champions of Turtenwald, Jensen, and Duke.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Owen just opting to finish off that game instead of doing the marginally technically correct hang out with your mana up, but really there's no Angel's Mercy in this format. He probably knows that. He just wants to be done with it and not slow roll his opponent.
Yeah.
Respectful move out of Owen.
And the tough thing here, or I don't want to say tough isn't the right word to use, but the interesting here is that of the decks that we have seen so far, because we've covered a lot of different teams throughout these first 4 rounds, is that I wouldn't say that Turtenwald, Jensen, or Duke's decks are the best decks that we've seen. I'd say that their decks are good.
No,
but I would not say that their decks are, busted or broken, or they're doing anything that's like, oh, come on. Like, that the red-green deck that we saw earlier, right, I don't think we saw a bad card.
No, absolutely
in that
not.
deck.
Dragon's Egg was the worst card, I think.
Yeah.
Or, even that's fine. I don't even know. Just all good. Ooh. So on the subject of Minotaurs.
Yeah, so we're going to cut over to the Reed Duke Chuck Myers match. You see Duke does have in play a Seacoast Drake. He's got a trained Condor. And he does have what looks like, I believe that's the 2/3 Minotaur?
No, that is the big one.
Okay, so that's stitched together. That's the 4/6 Minotaur. You see on Myers' side, he has the Child of Night and the Accursed Spirit, the 3/2 Intimidate. You see Duke is at 1, and Myers is at 9. So Duke he's behind on life total, but it looks like he's ahead on the board.
Yeah, very ahead. This control mirror. Looks like Myers got his negate in hand, but somehow the board state's turned into a creature fight. That was not what he was planning on with that one.
And the creature fight is currently favoring Duke right now.
Yeah. Minotaur Abominations.
That thing is huge. Huge. Yeah. And it's funny to say that a 4/6 is huge, let alone 4/6 in black, but that thing is absolutely huge, and it's super hard to get through, and it blocks like the annoying Intimidate creatures that black has.
Best upgrade to Catacomb Slug in a long time.
I love me a Catacomb Slug.
It's more respectable than people thought it was, but...
Yeah, it's funny to say that a 4/6 is huge and it doesn't beat Siege Mastodon in a fight, but this thing wins a lot of fights on its own. I mean, those two just stare at each other all day.
There's actually, all the common creatures don't beat it in a fight, as far as I remember.
Okay.
You have to have, the biggest green creature is a 5/5, right? Got 5/5 Groundbreaker Sliver.
Yeah.
4/6, 5/5 block. It's like Chuck's going down to 2 here. I think that's a Water Servant, given the tap mana over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Slight glare issue there, but it is a Water Servant. There is an Undead Minotaur, so 1/2 of Minotaur Abomination.
1/2 is not enough. So looking at this attack with the Child of Night, kind of realizing that I'm dead, but yeah, we're just gonna call it.
Yeah,
here.
and
That's
he is
the
going to
match.
extend the hand. So Chuck Myers is going to concede to Reed Duke. Reed does win 2-0.
See if Owen wants to finish the match or not.
And we'll see if Owen wants to finish the match or if they're just going to pack it up. I think it looks like they're just going to pack it up because, as it was explained actually over the PA today, the third match actually doesn't have any implications even on tiebreakers or anything. So
DCR report is a little funky for team events.
Yeah. So, again, Owen Turtenwald, William Huey Jensen, Reed Duke, they're going to move on to 4-0. They defeat the team of Kyle Kite, Mike Ward, and Chuck Myers. So the defending champions, a term I'm using a little bit loosely, but they did win the only other team seal that we did do.
Yeah, they are definitely defending champions.
They are off to another fantastic start this weekend at 4-0. Again, with decks that I feel like are not busted or broken, but they're good enough.
Good enough for them to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would certainly agree with that. Good enough for them to potentially make top 4. And then once you get to the draft, anything can happen at that point.
Oh, well, by anything you mean Huey Jensen beats everybody.
Yeah, that could be a thing that does occur. I know the last time when we were in Somerset, when they were doing their finals draft against the team of Alec Nezen, Joe Demestrio, and Frank Scarron, Grand Prix Charlotte champion, their decks weren't that good. The decks that they drafted. And honestly, none of the decks were that good. If you talk to all 6 of those players, none of them really felt like they had a great deck. I think the best deck at the table actually was Alec Nezen's blue-black deck of the 6. And we saw Nezen's team jump out to a very quick 3-0 lead. And then we saw We saw Jensen's team, I think, even it back up. I think they may have. I think it may have went 3-0 to Nessen's team, then 3-0 to Jensen's team, and then it ended up going the full 9.
Yeah.
And Jensen's team ends up winning the tournament 5-4. But it was super entertaining. It was super entertaining. It was really, really back and forth.
That was really, really late at night.
Oh, it was super late at night, but I loved it.
It was great.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Those guys battled deep into the evening to crown a champion in Somerset. I think we got out of there at around 2:30, maybe 3 a.m.
It was 2.
Yeah.
I was watching. It was a solid.
Oh, you stayed
2.
up with us?
I did.
Look at you.
I
Boy.
did. I don't remember why, but I did.
So Turtenwald and Kite are going to play out another game here. Again, I'm a big fan of this for some more like deck familiarity and all of those things.
So Kyle Kite's no 1-drop, but a capture knight on 2 to Owen's Tenacious Dead.
So are we just going to start calling that card Tenacious D? Because that's just like the easiest thing in the world to do. I don't like easy nicknames, but I mean, what are we going to do? Not call it Tenacious D?
Yeah, obviously.
All right. Tenacious D. Divination here for Kite. Going to draw him 2 more cards.
Owen, no 2-drop, but we got a regen for the block, basically.
Yeah. All right, pass it back.
The no hand lift was a nice
Yeah,
touch.
that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I like his style.
So
Yeah, that attack from Kyle cost him a life, looks like.
Yeah, it did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's a very small interaction.
Yeah, but every point does matter.
Yeah.
Honestly, even though you make the argument, the match is over. It doesn't really matter that much. But if you are actually going to play afterward to get practice, then
this is the time to learn these.
Yeah, this is the time to learn, and so there's no reason to throw away a point of damage. Here's a Suntail Hawk here from Kite. He's going to pass his turn back. You see his hand right now. He has an Ormaster. He has a Sarah Angel in his hand.
It's like some lands.
Yeah, and a healthy amount of lands in his hand. As here comes the Blood Baron.
Blood Baron Tenacious Dead. Let's get going.
We call that a combo in the business.
How much is it for Owen? Just 2? Okay, just 2.
And there's another Blood Baron.
Oh boy.
He has so many. He has so many sacrifices.
Owen's deck is real nice.
So here's a question: like in the past, especially back in the day, when damage used to stack, then Tuca Husk type cards were much better. They're still fine. We've seen cards like Blood Throw Vampire and Blood Baron and stuff like that be perfectly reasonable limited effects, but they were more of like synergy cards where it worked with Active Treason. How do you think Blood Baron lines up in this format, kind of ignoring Active Treason, because obviously it's good there, but just by itself? Is this a card that you like, that you dislike?
Yeah, I think it's... We were talking about Altar's Reap earlier as a way to sort of recycle your crappy early creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Black has a few of those, like Child of Night, that get outclassed fast. Blood Baron's another way to do that. I don't think it's awesome. I just think it's respectable. It's also worth noting that there's not a lot of creatures that outclass a 2/2 up until 4-drop.
Okay.
So we got a Liturgy of Blood. The mana's getting sunk into a Tenacious Dead sack.
Yeah, I like that play.
It's nice.
One of the things I've been looking at while I've been looking over like the spoiler and becoming very familiar with these cards for this event is like the kind of things that you can do once you Liturgy and have the 3 mana.
Yeah.
What can you actually use the 3 mana for? Like Mind Rot is a pretty obvious one. Playing an Undead Minotaur is another one. Tenacious Dead Sacrifice is one I had missed that unsurprisingly Turtenwald did not miss.
So it looks like Kyle's opting not to play his Messenger Drake, and he's instead going to try to block down this Blood Baron with a Capture Knight. I don't think this is going to end as well as he thinks it does.
I don't think it's going to end very well either. Gonna pump again.
Owen's just going to pay 2 more mana.
So he's
pay another 2.
Yeah, pay another 2, sacrifice there. Push some damage through. Get that knight out of the way.
Yeah. That's Sarah Angel down to the Liturgy. Kyle's not getting anywhere fast here.
No, he's got to play something. And the problem here for him, is that he's kind of like in this hard lock of my Blood Barons are the abyss right now. You can't block any of them profitably.
We've just got some really awesome shades going on.
Yeah. Blood Baron is... I mean, the combo of Blood Baron and Tenacious D...
Well, it's build your own Looming Shade.
Yeah, it is really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just decided right now I'm just going to call that card Tenacious D today.
Yeah. Oh, just today?
Yeah, just today. No other time. Here's a Quack Sickness, going to take care of the Suntail Hawk.
Okay.
Get that thing out of the way. Here comes...
Everybody.
Oh, Tenacious D is getting in there.
Yeah, just maybe he wants to block that one.
So here's a sacrifice to Blood Baron. Here's a sacrifice there. And another sacrifice, and it's going to be 2, 4, 6, and 8. So Turtenwald's going to come across with that final 8 points of damage. Kyle Kite's going to extend the hand.
6-0 to the defending champions.
6-0 to the defending champions over the team of Kite, Ward, and Myers. Very, very impressive stuff there from Turtenwald, Jensen, and Duke.
Update from the field. Drew Levin, Jarvis Hugh, Jason Ford move up to 4-0, despite Jason Ford's best wishes.
Sorry, Jason, you have to keep playing today. Hate to break it to you, as we're going to cut back here in the booth for you guys. Cedric Phillips, Ari Lack, Star City.